Hey everybody, welcome back to the Maguire Motorsports YouTube channel. Back out in the garage tonight. You can see behind me we've got a new sort of project that we're going to be working on. I've picked up this 99 Chevy Blazer. It's got a couple issues we need to fix with it, and we'll go over that here in a minute. But I thought we'd go ahead, step over here to it, take a little walk around, and just show you what we're working with and tell you about some plans with it and some of the issues that we need to fix. Thanks for tuning in and watching. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and to help us keep growing the channel. We're growing pretty good each and every day, and I appreciate all the comments. Let's keep the momentum going. Let's go check out this Blazer. Alright guys, so like I said, this is a 1999 Chevy Blazer, so it's got some age on it now. It's 24 years old, I think. It's a pretty nice little vehicle. It's got 52,000 miles, just over 52,000 miles on it, which is very low miles for a vehicle that age. I was able to purchase it from a lady at our church, really sweet lady. They've had it for, I don't know that they bought it brand new, but they've had it for a long time. She just doesn't drive anymore, didn't have much use for the vehicle, and it developed an issue that we'll go over here in a minute and hopefully show you a fix to. But she offered, I told her years ago that I'd like to purchase it if she ever decided to get rid of it. Back when they were driving it more, I would pick it up every so often and detail it for them. But like I said, it'll be a really good vehicle. She just said that she just got tired of it setting and didn't want to spend any more money on it to fix some of the issues that she knew it needed. So we'll take you a little closer and show you the details. Alright guys, so first thing I thought I'd show you, because it's the most obvious, is the vehicle's set a lot. I think I've seen that since March of 2022, this right now is January of 23, there's only been, I'm wanting to think, around 100 or so miles put on the vehicle. So with that being said, it's set under her carport and it's just not got washed. And a lot of times sitting under her carport, it will protect the paint, but you never get any rain to wash the dust and dirt off the vehicle, and that's sort of the situation we have here. So I'm gonna flip this camera around real quick and show you guys. Excuse me. All right, here we go. So you can see just dirty dust sitting on it. It sat outside here last night, so you know the dew kind of made it look water spotted. You can see the dust and debris and stuff that's kind of got behind this bug shield. You look across the window and see, you know, dirty. Up on the roof, it's really dirty, but what I like most is most SUVs, it seems like nobody ever wants to wax them, so they end up, the paint just fading away. The paint itself is actually really good, it's just extremely dirty. Alright, you can see out there a lot of shine on it. We probably will do a good polish and wax on this vehicle. The only spot that's much concerning for the actual like clear coat, you can see it right here, this is right below the driver's door glass. Pretty hazy looking. Just with a rag and a little bit of Maguire's 105 compound. You can see right there, big difference right here in this little circular area. So I think it'll polish out pretty good. There was a spot like that up here in front of the mirror as well. And I've done a little bit right in this area with just compound on a rag. So I think we'll clean up pretty good. The lady really tried to keep the vehicle up. She just put some new tires on it. So we definitely appreciate that. We'll keep walking around here showing you guys what we got. But you can see it's overall in good shape. As far as I can tell, there's 100% no rust on the vehicle. I mean, it's in really good shape as far as all that is concerned. From everything I've seen, it looks like the front fenders are bad to rot on these, and these are nice and solid. The rockers seem to give some troubles. If you look, the rockers are solid as a brand new one. Of course, it's the 4.3 liter, which is a very good engine and everything they're in. If you remember, that's what's in the OBS truck up there. It's a low mile, 46,000 miles on, I think, on it right now. We'll go ahead and take a look inside the Blazer. And again, it's said a lot. It needs some, just detailing, some shine up, good cleaning. The seats, they're in pretty good shape. Just need a good bath. A little dust and stuff on the dash, but it's not bad. But I think we'll be able to clean it up real good inside. Show you guys the mileage here on it, because like I say, it's not often you find vehicles from this age that still have lower miles. But you can see right there, 52,564 miles. So that's pretty awesome. Still got the factory tape deck in it. So as far as fixes that need to happen right now on the vehicle, one of them is an issue with the transmission, and we very well may have to pull the transmission and rebuild it. And if we do, that's fine. That's part of buying any used vehicle. And the lady was up front and told us that the transmission was giving her some issues. But the first thing we're going to try, and I'll show you here in a few minutes, is a vehicle speed sensor that is on the front of the, or on the, I'm sorry, not the front, on the transfer case that we'll take a look at. We'll show you where that's at. I need to find out there's two different types. I need to figure out which type this one uses. That way we can go from there and see which type do we need to order. The symptoms that it was giving was if you just put it in the drive position, it would be in first gear, it would take off fine, you wouldn't think there's any issues, it would shift into reverse fine, park of course. But as you was going, it never really wanted to shift out of first. If you were to pull it all the way down in first gear with the shifter, you could click it into second gear, no problem. Second gear was fine. When you go to third, it wouldn't want to shift into it, it's like just neutral. So that is concerning with the transmission. But some other things as I was driving at home that I noticed was the speedometer was erratic. It just sort of bounced between 0 and 20 or 30 mile an hour the entire trip home. Also, the ABS light was illuminated on the dash. So when I got home, started researching a little bit. It sounds like this vehicle speed sensor that's on that transfer case could be the issue behind all of it. I say could, there might be other issues. But some of the research I've done so far kind of points me in that direction with all the symptoms the vehicle's giving us. And so that's great, it'll save us a ton of money. But then again, it might be something completely different and we'll just have to deal with that as it comes. As far as plans, I'm thinking about calling this project ManVan. And the reason I say that's because it's obviously not a van, but very van-like. But I thought we'd do some stuff to kind of make it a little cooler. I've been looking a little bit at maybe a 2.5 inch lift. If anything at all, we may lift the front up a little bit to sort of match the back a little more. If we do that, I wouldn't mind eventually getting a little different wheel and tire on it. I mean, these are brand new tires with probably, I'd be surprised if they had 500 miles on them. We'll probably try to wear them a little bit, but I wouldn't mind something like a 31 1050 on it. I think that'd look pretty cool. With it being an older vehicle, the headlights are hazy, or at least a little bit. They could probably polish out fine, but I may just stick like a clear headlight in it. And I'll probably go with the clear corner lights. The chrome grille is actually in good shape, needs a little polish, but some billet inserts will be pretty neat. Wouldn't mind tinting the front door glasses to match the back windows. Thought that would look pretty cool on it. Of course, clean up and detail. I'd like to put a trailer hitch on it. You never know when you might need to hook to a trailer and go somewhere. Of course, it wouldn't be no heavy loads, but something like towing the golf cart to and from places. And maybe some type of tail light, LED light or something like that. Put in the comments, what would you do if you had it? It is 4-wheel drive. It is tempting to want to lower this one as well and have a 4-wheel drive lowrider, as long as we didn't go too low, but I think I'm sort of leaning towards going with something lifted this time. But like I say, let us know in the comments what would you want to do with it if you were going to mess with it. So that's sort of the plans with it. So what we'll do is I'm gonna go ahead and get the front end up on ramps, crawl underneath it. We'll locate the vehicle speed sensor, and then we'll go ahead and get the part on order. This is first day we're messing with it. Of course, I'll probably have to, if I order it online, I'll probably have to have a little delay in times for getting the part in here to us. So in a day or two, when the part comes in, we'll get back to it and we'll replace it, and I'll show you all that. And we'll take it for a test drive and see if that fixes our issues. And I'm sure there'll be other little issues that might come up from vehicle setting so much, but that's just part of it, and we'll work on those when we come to them. So let's go ahead and get the front end up in there and get under it and see what we can do. Alright guys, so I've located the transfer case. It's up here, and see if I can get you in the frame there, right up there with the light shining on. There you can see it's got like this little scuff plate right here that have to be taken down to, well, I could probably access it if I really wanted to, but for the purpose of being able to see better and for you guys to be able to see better, I'm gonna go ahead and take this little, like a metal skid plate off. As far as how you take it off, looks like there's about 3 bolts back here. Looks to be about a 14 millimeter or so. I'll let you know for sure in a minute. And there's 2 or 3 bolts right up there. Trying to make sure I get that in view for you. So we'll go ahead and get this pulled off real quick, and then I'll show you a little closer detail as to what we're talking about. Okay guys, so here we are. We got the pan loose. It was these 3 bolts going there. They were 15 millimeter, and it bolted up here to the transmission cross member with a couple of nuts where the mount for the transmission actually lays. They were also 15 millimeter. I used just an impact with a socket on it. I did have to break them with a ratchet, and they weren't really that tight, but that's an older impact. That's more like a one for like a screw gun. I just didn't have the torque to really yank them out, but they weren't difficult to get out. So a total of 5 bolts had it in. Here's our transfer case. Let me see if I can get you a little more light on it. Right there, okay? And right there is the sensor. You can see the wire going to it. Now what I'm looking at, they said there's 2 different sensors that you could find on these. It's a 4L60E transmission. I forget the actual transfer case name, but I think it's pretty standard for Blazers and the S10s. But you can see it's got that brassy looking finish to it. That'll be the metal one. They got a plastic one and a metal one. I believe they said it was about a 1 inch to take that out of the transfer case, so we'll take care of that. Unhook it, put a 1 inch on it. It's not super tight. It's got an O-ring seal. We'll order one, get it in, and then we will pick back up with when we got the new part in, and we'll show you how to take that one all the way out and stick the other one in. So that'll do it for now. It won't be the end of the video, just the end of as far as we can get today, and we'll just continue to show you what we're doing. So thanks for watching. Alright guys, so it's the next evening. We're back out here with this Blazer again. Getting ready to put this speed sensor in the back of the transfer case. I'll show you the one we got. The Delco ones locally were pretty pricey. Matter of fact, the dealership even said they'd have to order it. It was $180 some odd dollars. Called it O'Reilly's. They said they had it, but when we went after it, it was not in stock. And then went over to the AutoZone, which is just really right down the street from the O'Reilly's, locally to us here, and we got the Duralast brand. If you're looking for one, here's the part number. So we're going to crawl back under the Blazer here, put this in, and kind of go and see if it works out for us. Hopefully it does, so we can get this vehicle up and going and fully functional before we start in on cleaning it up and making it nice and drivable. So let's crawl under here and I'll bring you right back. Alright guys, so I just got to thinking, probably need to show you the sensor itself. This is the original that we pulled out. You can see it's, they say it's metal, looks like brass or something to me. Not 100% sure. That's the section that goes down in the transfer case. You can see it threads in, got an O-ring seal. It's a 1-inch nut there to screw it in and out. And then right there, the plastic ones only have one of these little like catch tabs on it, like located over here. Whereas these metal ones have the little catch tab on each side of it there. Also, the plastic ones, I think they said was a 3/4 or 7/8 head for the hex area there to tighten it in. Whereas, like I said, this one's a 1-inch. This is the old sensor that we took out. We got our voltmeter, which also has a reading of continuity or ohms, and or resistance, I guess it'd be in ohms. It's what I looked at. It says it's supposed to be between 2,700 and 1,300 or 1,400, something like that. This one had nothing. So that's why we determined that this is bad, regardless of whether it fixes the bigger problems with the vehicle or not. It is a bad sensor. Right here is the new one. Again, it looks pretty much identical. We can get it open here. The only thing that really looks much different, get out of the box here, is the coloring of the metal part, which shouldn't really affect anything. Put some side by side here. They appear to be the same length, but magnetism kind of pushes them away. Again, you can see in there it's the plug looks the same, so there's really no reason why this should not go in there and work. So now let's go ahead and crawl under there, get it in the transfer case, and we'll something else you kind of just want to put in there hand tight. I've seen some other instructions on these that said basically you could leave it just hand tight and it'll be all right, but we may put just a little touch on it with a wrench to make sure it's in there snugly. You don't want to break it, and again, it's got an O-ring seal, so you're not having to like tighten it to keep any fluid from coming out. So let's crawl under here and get it going. All right, guys. So I thought I'd go ahead and demonstrate the process of ohming it out. And if you look in there, you got the 2 little pins that the connector goes on to like make contact. So on my little voltmeter here, let me slide that out of the way for a second.
Multimeter.
The multimeter, it's on the off now. I'm gonna turn it over to this. That's the sign for ohms. Looks like a horseshoe sort or omega sign. Cut it over there. Right now it's just reading like that. So now we will touch it to each one of those terminals. Doesn't really matter which terminal you decide to touch it to. So one here, one there. And it is reading, if I keep it on there solid, like 0.898, and actually dropping as we're speaking to 9.2 now, 9.1. It's dropping the whole time. Now what we'll do, the new sensor, again, it looks identical inside there. There you go. Have Dad help hold the sensor while I go ahead and just touch these leads to the terminals. And it's showing 1,262 ohms of resistance. And I think I said 1,300 or so a while ago, and I might be misquoting that, but that's pretty close. So we'll go ahead and try that. 1,261 right there it says. So again, you can see the difference in the sensor. I wish I could have let you see the readout as we was doing it. Let me go ahead and cut this. Okay guys, so we're back under the Blazer here, right? I'm sorry, the light is horrible in here. Okay, you can see the little round hole there where the sensor goes. I'll try to get a video of us putting it up there. Let me switch hands with the camera here. Okay. Now, yeah, we're going right here with the sensor. Okay. It should screw in there fairly easy. Don't force anything. Now is not the time to cross thread or bust an expensive piece. There we go, got started. And again, you don't have to tighten it down with all your might. It's got that O-ring seal, and the O-ring will seal very, very well. So there we go. I'll just grab my, you can see it sticking out now. I'll grab my 1-inch wrench, put a little bit of snug on there. Probably no more than 10, 15 foot-pounds I think I seen was recommended. And then we'll plug it in and give it a little test. Hang tight, we'll bring you back to show you the results. Okay guys, so as you can see we got the little skid plate back on under the transfer case, and I'm gonna pull off these ramps and might do a little just test in the garage, get the rear axle off the ground and see if the speedometer works, maybe if it'll run through some gears. So we'll check that out and see what we can do, and we'll go from there, and I'll take you guys along for the whole process. Alright guys, so the sensor ended up fixing it. I forgot to show you the test in the garage, but we took it out for a road test. As you can see right now, I just went through the gears flawlessly. The transmission feels great. Got there's 55 mile an hour, about 1700 RPM. Really tickled with it, guys. The service engine light came on, and we'll hook it up to the computer and see what that's about. See what we can do to fix it, and I'm sure we'll show that to you as well. But for now, that's where we're at on this Blazer. Alright guys, so we just wrapped the job up on the Blazer, putting the, I think the actual name is the transfer case speed sensor that goes in the tail house of the transfer case. Again, our symptoms on that vehicle was, didn't want to shift gears. It wouldn't really, if you just put it in drive, it wouldn't shift out of first. If you manually went to first, you could get into second, but after that it was nothing, just like going into neutral. When I drove it home, I noticed that the speedometer was just flipping every which way, not registering accurate speed, as well as the ABS light was on. So after doing a little research, it looked like that particular speed sensor is what the problem was going to be. Some people I read online said it did help, some people said it didn't. Some people said that it didn't, but then they got looking at the wire, they found like a chafed wire in that harness. So with all that being said, we got pretty lucky, I guess. We stuck that sensor in, snugged it down a little bit. You've seen that in the video. Put the skid plate on, hit the road with it, and you probably just now watched that part of this video. I shifted through all 4 gears, all the shifts felt great. 55 mile an hour, I think was about 1650 RPM. So I think all that may be fixed. Also, as you've seen on there, the service engine light happened to come up. We just checked that code, said it was a mass airflow problem. It's right about the time that I stepped on the throttle more aggressive than regular driving. I went ahead and cut that light off, and we'll see if it comes back on. If it does, we'll address that. But for now, that'll do it for this video. The fix for the transmission not shifting on the Blazer. Thankfully, it's not going to need a transmission rebuilt, at least not yet, which at 52,000 miles, it really shouldn't. But that's where we're going to leave you off at now. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Find us on Instagram at Maguire Motorsports on Instagram. We'll post different pictures. I need to catch up some on that and like do a little more activity with that. But again, keep tuning in. We got more projects with that Blazer. A few detail videos, maybe polishing stuff out like the Blazer, the Ranger that Dad's got. Maybe do some more work on this OBS, get the stuff tuned in just right. Of course, you see the race car up there. We got videos planned with it. Just getting it ready for the next race season. Hopefully it'll get out quite a bit this coming year. But till then, you guys be safe. Have a good one, and see you next time.